What's up, vinyl community? It's Robert Fithin, and today I want to talk about some of my favorite B-sides and one-offs. Those songs that if you're collecting vinyl these days and you're getting like the original albums, like getting reissued or whatever, they don't have those B-sides on them anymore. So I don't know if some of these may not even be available on vinyl or they're on compilations or whatever. I'm just doing the 70s, 80s, and 90s too. I'm not going to go back to the 50s and 60s because that's way too much. This video would be like 7 hours long. Let's start off then with 1970, Led Zeppelin, Immigrant Song, and the B-side is called Hey Hey, What Can I Do? I remember when this was, I never heard this until 1990 when they put it on the box set. And this was re-released to radio and as like the new Led Zeppelin hit single. Here's the new hit from Led Zeppelin. It's called Hey Hey, What Can I Do? It's okay. I mean, it's not my favorite Led Zeppelin song by any. I really got tired of hearing it over and over again. Like I said, like it was a brand new single or something. Hey, hey, what can I do? You could turn the record over and play Immigrant Song, which is much better. That's actually what you can do. Also, 1970 had The Who and Won't Get Fooled Again. You probably want to ignore the A-side because it's like a 3.5 minute long edit. What? Turn it over and you hear I Don't Even Know Myself, which is a B-side from The Who. Kind of like, it's okay. It's kind of like a little rockin' thing, and then it goes into like a little country part, and it kind of changes it up. And by the way, that's what I am talking about. I'm talking about B-sides that are not on the album, like previously unreleased B-sides. There's all kinds of great B-sides that are album tracks. These are ones that were not on the album, like Tom Petty. The B-side of You Don't Know How It Feels called Girl on LSD. Used to play this on the radio as well, one of those B-sides we played on the radio. As a matter of fact, this song has a little bit of a sentimental thing to me because this was the first commercial I ever made for a place called Rick's Records in Springfield. Very first commercial I ever made was, you can get the new Tom Petty single with Girl on LSD on the B-side. You won't find it at Walmart. You won't find it at Best Buy. Of course, you could get it at Best Buy, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, Rick's Records, Girl on LSD, great song from Tom Petty. She's, I was in love with a girl on cocaine. I was in love with a girl on marijuana. All the different side effects that goes along there. Oh yeah, Iron Maiden. Yeah, if you're just getting the Number of the Beast album now, just the old vinyl reissue, you're missing out on the bonus tracks like the B-side Total Eclipse. Love that song. Love the bass line in that song. That just underlying. Total Eclipse, great song from Iron Maiden. Probably if it was on the album, it'd probably be my, third favorite song. It's actually the B-side of the single for Number of the Beast in the UK. And yeah, Iron Maiden, Total Eclipse. I think they do have a release of this that does have maybe, or I don't know if they got like a bonus tracks release or a B-sides release. But yeah, not easy to find if you're going for original vinyl LPs. And speaking of the British heavy metal new wave there, Judas Priest, Sin After Sin, great bonus track on here. I don't think it was ever actually a B-side. It's like an outtake. So this would be an example of just kind of one-off outtake that they put at the end of an album for their version of the Gun song. The band Gun from the late 60s had a great song called Race with the Devil. Judas Priest does a great job with that as a bonus track on Sin After Sin. I'm not sure, again, I don't know if it was a B-side or not, but it's kind of like a studio outtake. But again, obviously not on the original album. And I'm going by US albums, by the way, because that's what I'm most familiar with. I know that sometimes, like if you start getting into UK music of the 80s especially, there is like things like the Smiths, How Soon Is Now, that's considered a great unreleased B-side. But here in the US, it's not. It's the first song on side 2 of Meat is Murder, so it's not really an unreleased B-side. There's all kinds of things like that with Radiohead's got a lot of great B-sides, and all the Stone Roses have B-sides that are B-sides here, and album tracks here, and all that kind of stuff. So just for the sake of keeping it less confusing. Devo, Whip It. If you flip that over, you get a great song called Turnaround. It's so great that Nirvana remade it. They did the cover version of that. It's on their Incesticide CD. I think it was the Peel Sessions where they did that. But yeah, Whip It is great. Turnaround from Devo, unreleased or unavailable on LP B-side. And it's all about how, you take a look at yourself and you turn around and you see your whole city, and you turn around and you see the whole, country, then you turn around and you see the whole planet. You realize you're not such a big deal after all. Tribute CDs, I'm not really big on, but there's every once in a while you catch like a real gem in these tribute releases where, all these different bands do cover versions of one particular artist. Here it's the Carpenters, and it's called I Wish I Were a Carpenter. Has all kinds of people on here, from Babes in Toyland to Betty Seviert, but it does have Sonic Youth Superstar, incredible. Sounds like it's just this distorted, just this, like he's singing on a radio from heaven or something. It's just really spectacularly haunting, and a great job with, like I said, the Leon Russell song called Groupie, which became the Carpenter song, which becomes Superstar, which becomes the Sonic Youth tribute from If I Were a Carpenter. Excellent song. Another remake. What if the cover version actually has the original lead singer? So it's kind of a cover, kind of not. These two compilations came out, Nativity in Black, tribute to Black Sabbath. Great songs on here, but like with most tribute CDs, you forget about most of them. You just really want to go back to hearing the original. But this one has something kind of interesting on here. Primus getting together with Ozzy to do NIB from the the debut Black Sabbath album, Nativity in Black is what it's called. But yeah, NIB, my name is Lucifer, please take my hand. Now this is Primus instead of Black Sabbath, so obviously a lot of bass slapping and the big bass thing, but the drums in here are just really like high energy drumming going on. It's kind of a neat version to hear. Check it out. Nativity in Black Volume 2 is where you can find Primus and Ozzy's version of NIB. Soundtracks, you can always find great songs that usually aren't anywhere else. Nine Inch Nails has all kinds of B-sides. They were always one of those groups that did more of like the European thing where they would have all these maxi singles with remixes and B-sides and all that. Most American groups really didn't do that too much. But Nine Inch Nails had a great song on here, the Natural Born Killers soundtrack, and the song is called Burn. It was all over the radio, had a video all over MTV. Great song from Nine Inch Nails. Not really big on the movie or the rest of the soundtrack. It's got Patsy Cline on here doing, Back in Baby's Arms, going right to Nine Inch Nails. So it's kind of like all over the place. But yeah, great song from Nine Inch Nails. Rolling Stones putting out a couple of B-sides in their career. They don't do too many unreleased B-sides, but they do have one for the B-side of She Was Hot called Think I'm Going Mad. It's an okay song. It's not mind-blowing or anything. I'm going to blow you away or anything like that, but it is something nice to hear. Kind of a rarity from the Rolling Stones. And again, kind of hard to find if you're looking for it on vinyl. Probably got to buy the 45. But yeah, Think I'm Going Mad, the B-side of She Was Hot from the Rolling Stones, which is one of my favorite, lesser talked about Rolling Stones songs. I love the Undercover album. I know people don't like that and think that Tattoo used the last great Rolling Stones album, but I love Undercover, and I love the video and the song She Was Hot. That's great. Okay, so now I want to talk about a song that I don't even have because it's hard to find. I mean, I guess I could go to Discogs and get the maxi single if I really, really wanted it. But it's a song from Bryan Adams called Diana. It's rumored to actually be about Princess Di. Hard to find in the U.S. I know in the UK it's the B-side to Heaven. And then there's a maxi single that you can buy in Canada that came out at the time. But it was all over the radio in the U.S. for a little while, like summer of '85, when Bryan Adams was just huge. But nobody knew where to get it. It's like, how do you get this Diana song? Oh, you just have to keep listening to 106.5 KWK. Oh, great. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you. But yeah, we didn't know where to get it. Kind of a cool song, like more of a rockin' song from Bryan Adams. Again, it's Bryan Adams. It's not going to blow you away or anything. But it's just interesting that he has this lustful Princess Di tribute called Diana that's just, played on the radio all the time, but no one knew where to buy the song or where to get it. So, very rare B-side from Bryan Adams. Last Action Hero. Remember this soundtrack? This was huge when it came out. All kinds of great original songs. AC/DC's Big Gun was on here. Angry Again from Megadeth's on here. You had Anthrax. You had Fishbone is on here. Wow, Cypress Hill. Some of the stuff was previously unreleased, but the Big Gun from AC/DC and Angry Again from Megadeth was new. And so was my favorite track on here, Alice in Chains, What the Hell Have I? I love that song. It got kind of a remix when they did their box set, music box, and some of the greatest hits Alice in Chains stuff have the remix version on there. But the original one is on the Last Action Hero soundtrack. One of those things where the soundtrack is one hell of a lot better than the movie. That happens sometimes. How about you're listening to a CD and it's got a hidden track on it, and you have no idea the hidden track's coming up? That was always huge, the hidden track. You got to wait like a few seconds, or it goes all the way to track 69, or track 99, or whatever. The best one I ever heard was the one on this No Alternative compilation. It has Soundgarden on here. Matthew Sweet is on here with a great song called Super Deformed. Love that song. Bob Mould's on here. Pavement's on here. Uncle Tupelo is on here. Patti Smith is even on here. I said Uncle Tupelo. Soul Asylum. But Nirvana is on here. And it's the very last song, and there's no mention of it anywhere on here. And it was the first time I heard the song. The song is called Sappy. That's what the song is called now. When it was out, it was going through all these different names. I've seen it called verse, chorus, verse. I've seen it called laundry room. I've seen it called happy with a question mark. But I guess the official name now is Sappy. But it's nowhere mentioned on here anywhere. And I remember hearing this CD. I got this in college. You know, I worked at the college radio station, so this was free. It came in and just listening to see what songs are cool. Maybe we can play. And then all of a sudden, this great Nirvana song comes. It's still like one of my favorite Nirvana songs. It's really repetitious. A lot of people don't like that about it. It's like, if you da-da-da make him happy, and if you da-da-da make him happy. That's pretty much the bulk of the song. But I still love it, and loved being surprised. I mean, that's one of the times I was literally, organically really surprised. Just out of nowhere, Nirvana with a song that I would grow to love. Again, I think the technical name of it is Happy. Hard to find. I don't think it's on vinyl. It's on the box set. It's on the, Lights Out with Nirvana or whatever, and it's on the Sliver, the best of the box. It's on a bunch of bootlegs, but I don't know where you can get this actually on vinyl, the Happy song. Beck, Loser. Got this in college too. Love Loser. Who doesn't? But I love the B-side on here, Corvette Bummer. Just a great funky little thing with this nice little musical riff that keeps looping on it, like a lot of Beck stuff is, like a lot of samples and stuff. But yeah, you can find it on this particular Loser maxi disc. There's another one that doesn't have it and instead has a song called MTV Makes Me Want to Smoke Crack. So you may want to check that one out as well, but I like Corvette Bummer. It's not on the B-side of the Loser 45 either. The Loser 45, the B-side is Alcohol. So I'm not really sure where you can get this on vinyl unless there's a maxi of this with that on there. But yeah, Corvette Bummer, really cool song from Beck. The Doors have a couple of B-sides that weren't on anything else. You can find them both on this newly reissued thing. I have the original here. The Doors' Weird Scenes Inside the Gold Mine. This is like a companion piece to their 13 album, which is a compilation. This has all the hits that 13 didn't have, basically. Because when they issued 13, the album LA Woman hadn't been released yet. So they have a couple of B-sides. This one is called Don't Go No Further, You Need Meat. The Willie Dixon cover is not very good at all. It's got Ray Manzarek on vocals. The only time that happened while Jim Morrison was in the Doors was on this B-side. They have another one. This is the B-side, by the way, of Love Her Madly, so from 1971. They also have a B-side called Who Scared You from the B-side of Wishful Sinful. That's much better than the You Need Meat, Don't Go No Further thing. Both of them on that album, by the way. Let's talk about Prince. Man, I know I've showed this 12-inch like a couple of times now recently, so I'm getting, burnt out on showing this, but let's go crazy 12-inch. Erotic City is the B-side to this. Love it. Whether you got the 12-inch or the 7-inch, Erotic City, man, what a song. Especially when you're somebody like Prince, you just got so much great stuff. You can just throw it on B-sides. A lot of times the B-side is like some throwaway thing that you don't really want. It's like, it's all right, whatever. And then Prince and other people come out with these B-sides that are just absolutely killer. And Erotic City got played in all kinds of clubs. It got played on the radio. I remember the R&B station here. It was called Magic 108 at the time, and I listened to them because they would play Prince like every 15 minutes. The old stuff, the remix, the 12-inch singles, whatever, stuff I didn't have. And they would play Erotic City all the way through uncensored. And I'm pretty sure they're not saying we can funk until the dawn, no matter what Sheila E. claims. But whatever they were saying, I guess it was okay for the radio because it played, Prince, Let's Go Crazy, Erotic City. That's got to be one of the best. It's my favorite 12-inch single of all time. I think I mentioned that in the video before, but that's got to be one of the best singles of all time. You got great B-sides from Prince. He's got enough great B-sides to literally fill an entire CD. Remember this? The best of the B-side, the hits and the B-sides, and the B-sides is an entire disc. Great songs in there like Horny Toad, the B-side to Delirious. This makes a great single too because both songs are like 2.5 minutes long. So it's like 5 minutes total. Two quick little cute songs from Prince. Cute is definitely the way I would describe them. Delirious and Horny Toad. He's also got one called Gotta Stop Messing About, which is really hard to find. Cool song, but hard to find. It's only on the B-side of the 12-inch for Let's Work. It's not even a 7-inch B-side, so it's super hard to find. But another one of those really upbeat songs like Horny Toad and Delirious. It's just like fun. From 1981, that one was. And I guess it was an A-side with no album in the UK. So in the UK, it was kind of a misfired hit, but Or I guess that wouldn't be a hit, then that'd be a miss. But yeah, it was never anything in the U.S. And like I said, really hard to find on the 12-inch B-side for Let's Work. Back to the rock with the band Pearl Jam. Of course, their huge song Yellow Ledbetter, another one that was all over the radio. And rumored to have no lyrics. Rumored to... the story I got was Eddie Vedder is literally just saying words that come into his head. Some of it is mumbling and some of it's actual words, like, I don't know whether it's a box or a bag. I see them. You know, whatever he's saying. It's apparently just, you know, like right to his head, right, right into the mic, and that's your take. Yellow Ledbetter on the B-side of Jeremy. I always love the mix of the single version of Jeremy a little better than the album version is a little bit echoey. You know, I never really cared for the mixing of the Pearl Jam 10. I always loved the single versions more. But of course, you have to put up with the word being edited out of Jeremy. But yeah, Yellow Ledbetter. If you've never heard that, you're a Pearl Jam fan. Okay, well, if you're a Pearl Jam fan, you have heard it, so you don't need me to tell you about it. The Cure, man, they came out with, I think, their second single in the UK called Jumpin' Someone Else's Train. Had the B-side on there called I'm Cold. I love that song. I don't know why. All of these echoed vocals that go over each other, and the you know, the farther away echo starts first. It's a really interesting way of doing a song. Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees is apparently on backing vocals, but I don't hear her anywhere. But yeah, the song is called I'm Cold. It's a B-side of Jumpin' Someone Else's Train. Again, Cure have so many B-sides. They came up with an entire cassette side. I wish they would have done that with the CD version of this, but they didn't. But yeah, the first one on there, love it, I'm Cold. Who Shot Andy Warhol? Another soundtrack where you can find a bunch of original songs, but you can also find a cover. Usually don't like covers, but I like this one, of Donovan's Season of the Witch, done by Luna. Remember Luna, Slash Your Tires? They do a great version of Season of the Witch from Donovan from that soundtrack. Bruce Springsteen, We Are the World. I talked about this, did a whole video on We Are the World and Live Aid and all that kind of stuff. And it reminded me of this great Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band song on here called Trapped. Again, really kind of hard to find, not on any of his albums. It is on like the CD compilation, the Essential Bruce Springsteen, I guess if you get the 3-disc version. But yeah, it originally was on the We Are the World album, so kind of a one-off thing, recorded live in concert. I don't know if they ever intended it to be a hit, but it was released as a single, had a video, and actually did become somewhat of a hit. So Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. It's kind of been forgotten about now, but I still love that song called Trapped. Okay, here's a song I love. I don't love it, but I like it. You won't. I get it. We have our differences. But for some bizarre reason, I really have always liked the song Oh My God from Guns N' Roses. It's on the End of Days soundtrack. Now, this was at a time when, I think this is not, well, it's the End of Days. So, you know, it's one of those Millennium movies from 1999. You know, the world's coming to an end. Only Arnold Schwarzenegger can save it. By the way, second of his movie soundtracks we're showing. Oh My God is Guns N' Roses in their no slash, you know, 1999 no slash, you know, half the people are gone. It's basically Axl and Friends. I really don't care for Chinese Democracy or anything on there, but for some reason, I've always liked this completely forgotten Guns N' Roses song called Oh My God. Again, I don't think this is on vinyl. I don't think it made it to vinyl, but anyway, you got to put yourself in the time that, again, 1999, it was one of the better things that were out at the time. Let's just say that. You remember what was out in 1999? Okay, well, this sounds a little better now because, you know, when you put it in those in that framework. If you like Green Day, don't forget their kind of forgotten song called J.A.R., Jason Alva Reva or something like that, from the Angus soundtrack. I don't remember this movie. I remember Angus, I think he gets picked on or something by the little guy from Entourage or something. Don't remember the movie, but another great alternative soundtrack with all kinds of bands in here from the era. But the Green Day song that was hard to find anywhere else is called J.A.R. Again, I think it's on their best of or something, so you could probably get that on vinyl. But at the time, only available on this Angus soundtrack. Another soundtrack song from Austin Powers' Spy Who Shagged Me is Madonna's Beautiful Stranger. I think that's a perfect pop song for this movie. It sounds like the 60s, but at the time it sounded really current too. So they really mixed those two kind of soundscapes really well together and made a great pop song called Beautiful Stranger from Madonna on here. This is also the one with Lenny Kravitz trying to do American Woman with all that distortion at the end. Definitely not a fan of that, but I do love the Madonna Beautiful Stranger. I think that really worked out pretty well. Aerosmith, let's talk about Beavis and Butthead since they're back. You know, Beavis and Butthead, they are back. They got a brand new movie on Paramount Plus called Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. It's okay. You know, I'm over here in my late 40s watching this now, but it's all right. But the Aerosmith had a great song on here called Deuces Are Wild that was kind of a leftover track. It was also the B-side of their Walk on Water single, which I didn't care for that song at all, but I love Deuces Are Wild. Just basic bar rock song from these guys. They're not trying to do anything crazy or whatever, just a great little tune from these guys. Of course, the Beavis and Butthead Experience also has Nirvana's I Hate Myself and Want to Die that came out right before he died, so that's really was an eerie thing to put on such a comedy kind of CD. It really turns dark early on when you listen to it now. Flashdance! I don't know, man. For whatever reason, I love this song on here called Manhunt from Karen Kamen. I have no idea who Karen Kamen is. This was not released as a single, except in France. There she is again, but I don't know. I've always loved that. I'm going on a manhunt. Great song from Flashdance. Again, I don't know anything about the singer. I don't know anything about the song. It's not a single. It's not a hit. It's just a soundtrack song that I love from the 80s that doesn't ever get played or anything. Blur. I wanted to put some Britpop in here because there's all kinds of B-sides. You know, the Brits are always putting out B-sides and maxi singles and whatever. I listened to like 7 of these Blur B-sides. I'd heard them before, but I listened to them all again. They don't have any good... Stay away from Blur B-sides. That's not a good look. That's not a good sound. Okay, for my second to last one, I just want to do more of a personal one. This is like the first B-side I ever heard, like unreleased B-side, one of the first 45s I ever had. Grand Funk Railroad, The Locomotion. But the B-side is called Destitute and Losin'. It's 7 minutes long on this 45. It was not on an album. Of course, I don't know that at the time. I'm 4 years old. 4 years old listening to a song called Destitute and Losin' where the guy's like, I've been drinking, I've been smoking, and I'm dying going straight to hell. I'm destitute and losing. I knew what the word destitute meant when I was 4 years old. Thanks to Grand Funk Railroad, or as they're called on here, just Grand Funk. But yeah, this was my first B-side. You got to check this out sometime if you're in like a really down mood, or you're in a really happy mood and you want to be down. Destitute and Losing will do that for you. It ends in a similar fashion of Alice Cooper's School's Out, where the tape just speeds up and it stops. Okay, for my last one, kind of a novelty thing, not a song that you really should go out and buy or whatever, but maybe listen to it one time, stream it or something. It's kind of a curio, not a great song. Glenn Campbell, the B-side to Country Boy, You've Got Your Feet in L.A. from 1975 is called Record Collector's Dream. So that's why I wanted to tell you about it. It's B-side, not available anywhere else, but it is called Record Collector's Dream. It's one of the only songs I can think of sung from the perspective of a record. Talking about putting a needle on me, I've got a big hole in me, corny as hell, not a great song, but if you are a record collector, kind of something you might want to hear one time. And it is an unreleased on anything else B-side from Glenn Campbell, Record Collector's Dream. I think that's officially time to wrap it up. I know there's all kinds of great B-sides out there. I know I'm forgetting probably some of my own favorites, but I didn't want to make the video 3 hours long. But if you got some great unreleased on an album B-sides that are hard to find on vinyl now with the original albums being re-released, let me know in the comments what are some of your favorites. Please forgive me for the Guns N' Roses. Oh my God. I'm Robert Fithen. Thanks again to the vinyl community for making all kinds of great videos. I still love watching all those videos. I don't always get a chance to comment or whatever, but I watch them on my TV, but I certainly try to do that. Keep those great videos coming, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks again.